Welcome to the official safety car for Car of the Year. Yep, this car is going to be setting the pace for Car of the Year from now until test week, and it's going to be absolutely insane. This episode, however, we are going to be talking to jurors for Car of the Year for test week. And to help me out, I've got somebody from Old Mutual. He works in the marketing team. His name is Thami, and I am picking him up. Thami, you want to jump in? Thami, how are you?
I'm good, Jovan. How are you doing?
Good, man. It's so good to have you. So, Thami, tell us, who am I going to meet today?
Okay, so today we're actually meeting Thami Masemola, who's the current chairperson for COTY. He also owns a motoring media company called Insure.
So tell me something. I know Thami has been around for quite a long time. How long has it actually been?
So, funny story, you might not believe this, but Thami has been doing journalism for motorists ever since I was rushing home for 4:30 to transform Super Set.
Dragon Ball Z. So he's been around since your days of Dragon Ball Z. That is absolutely insane. That just tells you how many years Thami actually has in this industry, which is incredible. So listen, to get kicked off, I can't wait to meet Thami, but I know I have to drop you off for Dragon Ball Z rehearsals, right?
Gotta do a rerun again.
All right, so Mani, thank you so much, man. I'm gonna pull over for you here. I will see you on the next one, eh?
On the next one.
Awesome.
Cheers, man.
Good luck with Dragon Ball Z. Thami, thank you so much for joining us, and it really is a pleasure to be talking to you, the chairman of COTY. My word, what a position. Tell us, what is it like to have to be, give us a sense of what a day in the life of a journalist is.
Okay, so a day in the life for somebody like myself, for example, wake up in the morning, I'm up at 4 most days, prepare for
4 a.m.
4 in the morning, yes.
So you're not the 5 a.m. club, this is a 4 a.m. club.
Yeah, so help prepare the girls for school. I've got 2 girls in school. My son is out of school. Make them lunch and all sorts of things, take them to school, drop them off, come back to the home office, start my day, more or less. And my day will typically consist of anything to do with cars. So open up my laptop, see cars. If there's a delivery coming through, typically a car, new car, or a pickup. We have a car leaving, so I have to prep the car as it leaves, check the car that's been delivered, etc., and then start my day.
And these are all brand new cars, right, from manufacturers?
Yeah, brand new. So for us, brand new means anything that's sort of 6 months or less. Anything a bit older than that, it feels a bit old.
Let's get into that, right? Because I think the fact that you get vehicles, I guess people don't understand the level that comes with. Brands are trusting you with your voice in the industry. Tell us how important is a journalist's voice in this industry?
Okay, so I've been doing this for 25 years, 26, I think this year. So for me, this is, it's a second life, essentially. So I breathe this, I live it. The voice of a journalist has always been important. Past 150 years of media, journalists have been, in the US, they call them the fourth estate. Your voice is heard by hundreds of thousands, millions of people out there. So your opinion matters. That's why I think as a journalist, it's very, very important that you're ethical, that you're truthful, you're honest, and that you present yourself in a very acceptable way. Because there's a lot of people who are listening, watching, reading, whatever it is that you put out there. So it's a very, very important thing.
Absolutely. And I want to get into, how important that role is, because it's not just about the cars themselves, it's also about safety. And I mean, if you think about Old Mutual Insure, they deeply invested in safety and the safety of these vehicles. How important is the safety aspect when it comes to looking at vehicles, reviewing vehicles, and even in the position of a juror, how important is safety?
Yeah, so for me, the fact that Old Mutual Insure is so passionate about safety speaks to my heart. I'm a person that's quite vocal about safety. If you look at my X posts, my Facebook posts, and etc., you will realize that I'm a person that's always going on about safety. And I think it's one of the things that journalists often preach about. I know journalists are often seen as reckless. Sometimes you watch a video, you see a guy driving, spinning cars and drifting and all that.
All we do is have fun, right?
We have fun, but we have fun safely. So we have fun when it calls for it in safe environments. But on a public road, you have to do everything.
It's real families, right? It's real people. It's South Africans that are putting their lives in your hands.
And listen,
when they make decisions.
People think it's the basics. It is the basics. Put on your seatbelt. Sit properly. Grab your steering wheel properly.
Right? No leaning back there.
Like your car is being driven by a ghost. They can't even see who's driving this car. You're laying there. Yeah. Just the other day, I posted a video of a bus on the farthest right lane of the freeway. The bus was driving. And for me, it just didn't make any sense. Why would a bus be driving on that lane? But it's one of the things that Old Mutual Insure, I know, is really passionate about, and that they're driving all the time to say, South Africans, do the basics, get it right. Put on your safety belt, even for passengers. And this is something that I say a lot with South Africans. Your passengers just don't put on seatbelt.
People don't understand that, right? I think you've got all the safety features, but they don't understand the simple act of putting a seatbelt on means your safety features, if you don't have it on, your safety features won't work, right?
Absolutely. Like your airbag.
Yeah.
For instance, your airbag is probably pointless without a seatbelt on.
Because it won't deploy.
It won't deploy. So safety is paramount.
From your perspective, where do you see car insurance fitting into the conversation of safety? Better drivers, better cars. Where do you see it fitting into that conversation?
Car insurance is often seen as a garage purchase, obviously. But for me, I think it's one of the things that is crucial in car safety. In fact, when you buy a new car, obviously you have to get insurance, one. Number two, don't cancel your insurance. Because as Murphy will always have it, the day after you cancel your insurance,
something happens.
Exactly. Yeah. So car insurance is of the utmost importance, because what happens is that as anything happens with your vehicle, whether it's a collision, it's theft, it's a hijack, at that very moment, who is the first person you're thinking about? Car insurance.
Yeah. Am I going to get paid out for this vehicle? I mean, exactly. I'm going to be sitting with an installment, or I paid cash for this car and they got my money. Yeah.
So it's one of those purchases that you never realize you need until you actually need it. And in this country, with so many collisions, so many deaths on the road, it is absolutely imperative.
Absolutely.
And I'm always surprised by the low intake of car insurance in this country. We should have one of the highest intakes in the world of car insurance.
Because of the stats, right?
Because of the stats, absolutely.
Thami, I want to bring it back to the Guild. I mean, the Guild has been around, Car of the Year has been around for 40 years now? How important is it, being a juror, being a chairman, how important is it to protect a legacy like that?
So 2026 is the 40th anniversary of SA Car of the Year, and we are ecstatic. One of the things that I think is going to make it an even more special year is that Old Mutual Insure is holding us hand in hand. They've been around with us for the past 4 years, and they just haven't missed a beat. So for me, it's important to have a partner like that to celebrate such a milestone. It doesn't come around every year, right?
Absolutely.
So the legacy, South African Car of the Year is what is the oldest in Africa, first of all, such competition. Oldest in Africa.
Oldest in Africa. Like
oldest in Africa.
The oldest in Africa means that we've been holding the torch, not just for South Africa, but for Africa.
Since 1986.
Since 1986.
More or less since you were born.
Yeah. Yeah, more or less. Going into test week, because now the action starts, right? And I know a lot of you are also waiting for test week. What can people look forward to when it comes to test week?
Test week is probably the most exciting bit of Car of the Year. We get there, all the cars are lined up. So we've got 18 finalists this year.
Can you tell us who the finalists are?
I can tell you some of the finalists.
Yeah.
But you can always go to the Old Mutual Insure website, obviously, and have a look. So we've got cars like the Alfa Romeo Junior, for instance.
Yeah.
Alfa's very
Who
first
have shaken up the market, eh?
Yeah, it's the first electric vehicle ever. It's in the country. It's a finalist. We've got an Audi A5 in there. We've got two Audis, actually. RSQ8.
Yeah.
High performance V8 in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've got more Chinese, I think, than we've had in a while.
Which is expected, right?
Yes.
I think if South Africans didn't see the Chinese market in there, I would be surprised because they've really also shaken up the market.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a third of the cars in the finalist list are Chinese. So we've got Leap Motor C10. There's a GWM Haval H7 in there, and a few others as well. So it's a diverse mix. Volkswagen Golf is there.
Yes.
Very nice. And a Volvo EX90, which is an all-electric car. So it's very, very, very diverse.
No, it's going to be incredible. Thami, I cannot wait to see you at Test Week. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope this gave you guys a deeper insight into what the jury is all about and what our Test Week is all about and exactly what goes into this. Thami, I hope you're enjoying your milkshake as well. I hope it was worth the trip.
It's better than yours.
I love it. Thami, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.